I'm sure that many of you have discussed politics and world affairs with your father, grandfather, and uncle, and then use your newly gained arguments and facts to look cool and intellectual among your friends. This role of a trusted family member that you go to understand what's going around in the world is now also fulfilled by social media influencers who make videos on politics and current affairs. On Indian YouTube, commentary on politics, current affairs and social issues became popular in 2017 and 18 when influencers like Dhruv Rathi, Akash Banerjee, Sham Sharma and AKTK started uploading on YouTube. In this genre, influencers don't like to be called influencers. Everyone has a different name for themselves. Dhruv calls himself educator activist, Akash Banerjee a political satirist, and I didn't know this before, but Sham Sharma likes to call himself a journalist. Some influencers don't call themselves anything, but they clearly seem to have some political ambitions. Prediction: I think that blogger Flying Beast also has some political ambitions, and in the future you will see him in social activism and politics. Okay, so now all of this is getting really confusing. So for the sake of simplicity, let's call all of these influencers as political influencers, because all of them talk about politics to some extent. And let's further divide them into left and right influencers based on their general stance towards the current government. Left influencers are those who usually speak against the government, and right in favor. In the beginning, the left influencers such as Dhruv Rathi and Akash Banerjee gained prominence because their content was fresh on YouTube and a breath of fresh air from TV news. Furthermore, the unity among left influencers was also very strong. They often collaborated with each other, and they also worked with traditional news channels such as NDTV and BBC. They also worked with upcoming digital news portals who spoke against the government such as News Laundry, and therefore getting good press and publicity. During those days, Sham Sharma Show and Aaj Ki Taza Khabar also started uploading on YouTube, but the quality of their content was not as good as the left. During that time, the reputation of content that was pro-India and pro-Indian culture was very uncool, partially because of the efforts by the left influencers, but mostly because back then pro-India content was very tacky and propaganda-like and was mostly shared by political and religious institutions as well as old people. As a result, young people who were the first adopters of social media attached right influencers with propaganda content and therefore did not like watching them. During that time, some of the popular journalists of the pre-2014 era also jumped on the social media bandwagon, but they do not have the same influence or respect as social media influencers do. Why? Simply because influencers earn the trust of their audience by talent and hard work. Therefore, people on social media take pride in supporting influencers who they have helped rise. On the other hand, celebrities and famous journalists who come onto YouTube are seen as opportunistic people who are just trying to either improve their PR or gain new audiences. Yes, celebrities on social media get good numbers very fast, but they are not as respected as social media influencers. Therefore, if there ever was a social media fight between Akash Banerjee and Barkha Dutt, the entire YouTube will support Akash Banerjee, regardless of political and social ideologies, because he has what I like to call higher social credibility, despite Barkha being a senior and famous journalist. So, if these political influencers are loved and respected so much, why do people dislike them? Why the discontent? For starters, anyone who gets a bit of popularity gets some backlash because everyone has different likes and dislikes, political or otherwise. There is also artificially created hate and criticism by political parties, corporations and YouTubers themselves. But that isn't the focus of this video. In this video, I will only focus on the genuine discontent people have with these influencers. Now that's out of the way, there are two main reasons why people are discontent with political influencers, especially left influencers. The first reason why people are dissatisfied with left influencers is because they failed the high expectations people had with them. When these political influencers started out, people expected them to be fair and unbiased and be better than the traditional TV news. When Dhruv and Akash started out their careers by criticizing the government, people liked and supported them. Why? Because people thought that these people are fair and unbiased, and even though they were criticizing the government then, in the future, they will support the government when it does something good. And this high expectation came from the fact that the social media audience saw these influencers as normal people, like me and you, who don't have any incentive or compulsion to lie like politicians or lawyers do. For example, if a Congress's MP says anything good about government's COVID response, he will be immediately kicked out of the party. Why? Because it is job of the opposition to criticize the government. And people know this. However, a normal person has no such compulsion. It is expected of him to encourage the good, discourage the bad, and have a reasonable point of view. Instead, the left influencers started focusing on facts and arguments that suited their narrative. And whenever a fact or an argument came that did not match their point of view or weakened their argument, they either skipped it, dismissed it, or briefly mentioned it and moved on. And eventually people started noticing these sneaky tactics, and they felt that their intelligence is being insulted. Another thing that the left influencers did that pissed a lot of people off was that they started mocking and insulting people who supported the government or did not agree to their point of view by calling them bhakts and zombies. And by doing so, they broke the most important rule of public life. That is, never ever criticize the public. You will never see politicians blame the citizens for losing election. They humbly accept the people's mandate.
इस जीत के ऊपर हम आम आदमी पार्टी को अपनी पूरी शुभकामनाएं देते हैं। हम दिल्ली की जनता के इस मत का आदर करते हैं और उसका सम्मान करते हैं। हमारी बहुत ही जबरदस्त हार भी हुई है। अपनी उस हार को भी हम बहुत विनम्रता से स्वीकार करते हैं।
Celebrities never blame their fans when the movie flops at the box office.
It's no hard feelings. Everybody has their own taste. It's fine.
And the news never says that their audience is stupid for not agreeing with them. And political influencers are the only ones I can think of right now who create divisions among their viewers by criticizing those who either do not agree with them or do not match to their levels of thinking. As a result, creating polarization on the internet as well as the society. Now, someone in the comment section might ask, aren't the right influencers doing all the sneaky things that you mentioned? Why don't you criticize them? Yes and yes. Right influencers also use sneaky tactics. They also make a lot of fun of people who do not agree with them. But there are 3 reasons why people aren't as unhappy with them as they are with their left counterparts. And the first reason why is it so is because the right influencers have been open about their bias since the beginning. So whenever they skip a topic or sneakily miss out on a fact, people know that, and therefore they don't feel betrayed. Also, by the time right influencers such as AKTK, The Sham Sharma Show and Upward became popular, i.e. 2019 and 20, the social media audience had matured and they had accepted the fact that political influencers are imperfect and biased. Therefore, instead of getting irritated about a right influencer missing a fact, they just go to their left colleague's video to get the whole picture of an issue. Another thing that the right influencers have learned from the mistakes of their left colleagues is that whenever they are wrong or an argument or fact is not in their favor, they admit it. They admit the other side is right and it is how it should be.
कुंभ के अंदर भीड़ कम होनी चाहिए, कतई जायज मांग है और सरकार को भी इस पर कदम उठाने चाहिए कि किस प्रकार से भीड़ जो है उसको कम करे और नियंत्रित करे और सारी चीज़ों को रेगुलेशन की तरह फॉलो करवा पाए। ये सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है और सरकार जो है इस समय इस काम में फेलियर साबित होती जा रही है, ये स्पष्ट रूप से दिख भी रहा है।
And needless to say, many of the people who watch right influencers are those who got disgruntled by left influencers. And therefore, right influencers don't get criticized as much as their left counterparts. And while all this division and drama was taking place on YouTube, there was a set of influencers who saw the demand for neutral and honest content. Soch by Mohak and an open letter came up to the scene to fulfill that demand. But before they could make their mark on YouTube and grow exponentially, 2020 happened. And this is the best part of this video. The 2020 lockdown accelerated the growth of UPSC coaching channels such as StudyIQ, Unacademy and Drishti IAS on YouTube. And following them came the best teachers of India online. If you don't know, teachers, especially the ones that teach UPSC syllabus, are one of the most entertaining, wise and knowledgeable people in India. They are so good that they can hold your attention for 2 hours straight while talking about something as boring as early modern history. And without a doubt, teachers are the original influencers. These teachers and coaching centers cover all the topics political influencers do and more. And they teach all of this in a fun and entertaining manner. As a result, many people who are not interested in government jobs at all watch these channels. And the only thing that these teachers don't talk about is politics, religion and conspiracy theories, because all of them are out of UPSC syllabus. And these teachers also don't seem to have an agenda, except for the fact that they really want their viewers to get their dream government job.
आपकी लॉयल्टी आपके एग्जाम के लिए होनी चाहिए, हमसे आप लॉयल्टी रख के क्या निकाल लेंगे बताइए.
And the style of their videos is also very innovative. You can either watch them normally, listen to them like a podcast, or read them. They provide PDF slides of their entire video on their Telegram channel so that students can refer to them after watching the video. And let me tell you, if there ever was a debate between a subscriber of Study IQ and a subscriber of all the political influencers, you bet the Study IQ subscriber will win. Today, online teachers are those trusted family members that you go to understand what's going around in the world. Thank you ladies and gentlemen for coming over to my blog. If you want to stick around, press the subscribe button and I'll see you soon.